now listening to Operator.
Welcome to Operator Radio. Today we have something special for you. We're gonna have an interview with Osman and Pim for Noordlicht Waves project covering different radio stations across the Netherlands. We're gonna cover Operator Radio, we're gonna cover open source, we're gonna cover Rara Radio, and we're gonna also have an interview with DJ Maestro from Jets de Ville. We're gonna take a lot of photos and have some interviews with the heads behind these projects to share some light and some insight over the radio's reality across the Netherlands. name is Aige. I'm a disc jockey from Utrecht. I do this project with Alexandra Villegas, a photographer from Utrecht, and Robbie Drabe, another disc jockey from Utrecht. We hope you're gonna enjoy. We hope you're gonna have some good insights over what it feels and what it is to be in this radio. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Okay. We have Osman and Pim here today. Really happy about it. I'm gonna ask some questions to them. So first, maybe you can introduce yourself. Say your name. Say.
I don't think we need introduction in our own studio, right?
Well, maybe
a little bit. I'm Osman Bas, one of the head of program of Operator Radio.
And my name is Pim. I am part of the crew for 6 years now, and I do marketing, communications, production, and I manage all of our volunteers, our lovely volunteers who host the studio.
Shout out to them.
Nice. So I have some questions for you. The first one is, how did you get into this radio? Well, we have Osman, he's one of the founders. So he got from the moment zero, right?
Yeah. It was 8 years ago. We had this idea to do a radio station, because there wasn't one in Rotterdam at that moment. There was only red light radio was active at that moment, and it was needed. We felt the need to start one, because there was a lot of talent in Rotterdam, still is, and then slowly we started the project off, and then quickly in like half a year, this container was here.
Oh wow! So yeah, already 8 years since that start.
8 years, yeah.
And Pim, when you got into the radio?
So yeah, as I said, I joined about 6 years ago as a volunteer, the studio host at first, welcoming the DJs and helping them to do their thing. And I quickly after a year of working a lot, I started managing the volunteers, and since like 2.5 years now, I think I've been part of the core team, and now I have all my own responsibilities as part of the core team.
Yeah, thank you. I have some question about first the mission and the history of the radio we're gonna cover. So to the roots of what this radio is about. And the first thing that I want to ask indeed was, who are the founders? Are you the only one, Osman, that?
No. The founders are a couple of people. We founded the radio station with 5. It was Ofra Bene, Patrick Marsman, Jeff van Hoek, Jorn de Vries, and me, Osman Bas. That were the core founders. And now there are only 2 left of them. And we have a big team of volunteers and also Chris and Catherine at the office. So there's a big team which is behind this whole thing now.
Yeah, we met them coming in. They're really friendly and welcoming. Yeah. Shout out to
them.
Yes. One question I want is what inspired? Like you told already, there was missing a spot like this in Rotterdam. So that was the main reason why you founded Operator Radio.
Also because we felt the need that the musical DNA of Rotterdam had to be shown to the rest of the world, and there's no better way to do that with a radio station using internet as our tool to reach everyone.
Yeah, for sure. The richness that the internet gave us is incredible.
Yeah. But like as I mentioned, there was Red Light Radio, and that was really nice at the moment. But we felt that Rotterdam needed its own station, so that's why that was the motivation.
Nice. Well, good job.
Thank you.
What is the message or the vibe that this radio want to send to its listener, you know?
We just want to be a good representation of what this city has to offer, you know. This is a spot where Rotterdam's talent can showcase themselves. We have over 100 residents who play either monthly or bi-monthly, and we help them, we give them a platform, we give them our studio to be able to showcase themselves to the rest of the world. To Rotterdam and beyond, you know, and there's not a specific vibe that describes Operator. I think some people say it's a bit of a clubbier side, but yeah, we like to think we are open to all kinds of sounds, but they have to be a bit alternative and underground, and there needs to be like a strong passion for all kinds of sound, you know. We have all kinds of show at the stations, whether it be easy listening morning shows to clubby shows, maybe more in the evening hours, but also, you know, talk shows about all kinds of important topics, such as, you know, it ranges from like politics to sports to you name it. There's usually like a show about it. But we also have like programming series that focus, for example, on Flinta artists in the scene, which is our Sunflower series, who organize with a team of women from Operator. They organize events for Flinta artists in the scene to connect, to showcase themselves, and to also learn more about how you can navigate a scene like this, which is unfortunately still quite male dominated, you know. So we just want to be open. We want to showcase underrepresented sounds and people, and that's what we've been working on for the last 8 years.
Okay, so a lot of eclectic music and a lot of eclectic programming, let's say.
Yeah, it goes all over the place. Yeah. But we try to keep a steady line for fitting like the vibe of the day. It's obviously sometimes hard, but I think we manage to do better each time. All right.
Okay, and this eclecticism was present from moment zero to nowadays, or it has changed during the years somehow?
I don't know. Maybe you can highlight more on how the program has changed.
Just as music as like communities, of course it changes. The program, what we have isn't the same as what we started with. We have a lot of new residents coming in, and old residents are like which the what they're like, how the some people get kids, some people do something else, don't have time for radio anymore. So with that, of course, the program changes from like every year.
Nice. So it's it's always changing in a way.
Yeah. That's like, I think for the last couple of 3 years, it's like very steady. We have a good mix of everything. But who knows? Maybe in 2 years there's gonna be new genre in town which kids are embracing. Then of course we have to embrace that too in a way.
Yeah,
in a way,
if
it fits.
Yes. Keep it new. Keep it.
Yeah, you also follow, a bit of the trends. The sound that is popular anywhere and everywhere also is always subject to change and gets influenced by all kinds of other external factors. So we also move with that.
Nice. So yeah, this is the core values of the radio and how they programming. Now we go a bit on the practicality of it. So I have a question: is how do you decide what kind of content goes on her? What is the process?
The process is there's a couple of ways how things come in. Either we have a program email which a lot of people send their inquiries to, and that's checked by us. And then we check them and we evaluate if it fits or not, and then we check if the DJs are available, and then we have them in for a guest mix, or we actively scout new DJs to invite to come and play.
Nice. So it's a nice process that takes into account all kind of requests from the people.
Yeah. My man is casually mixing during his interview. I love this. I love this. Let's keep this in.
So do you? There's some type of shows that characterize this radio. Are you more like for the DJ, or more like for the political talk, or more for cultural? I don't know. Yeah.
I think I wouldn't say there's one specific show that characterizes the station. We try to offer something for everyone, whether it be young or old. Whether it be whatever style you're into. It can all characterize operator. I think what's the common denominator is always like just a shared passion for the music or the topic or the content of the show. That's I always say passion is the most important thing. If there's someone who has a certain passion for a genre, who manages to translate that very well into a show, then that is something that we stand for. If there's someone who is extremely interested in a certain topic, for example, from the top of my head, we have a Sunday morning show called Vreemde Vogels with two hosts, Marlon and Laura. Shout out! They've been doing a show for a couple of years now about nature. Where they go through the whole country, interview biologists, all kinds of people and they talk about nature, and they play beautiful ambient music aside it, and that's also an example of what a show could be that perfectly represents operator. But there's always a shared drive or passion, but in a show.
Thanks. So I want to move on to a little bit about the aesthetic of this radio, because I found it fascinating how it is located on top. So can you tell us something about the aesthetic of this place, how you end up being here, on the top of the container?
Yeah, sure. Before we started this beautiful place, the beer garden already existed. So for the people who aren't familiar with this place is located on top of a beer garden terrace located in the center of Rotterdam. And we were also engaged with Biergarten, having Friday night drinks and became real good like friends with the people who run this place. And when we quickly had the idea to do a radio station, it was more than logical to do it at this place. And then we started the conversation, and they were very interested to host this kind of the idea we had. And then they were like, you know what, we just put a container on top of where the toilets are, and then you can do a radio station up there. And we like the idea, so it's a partnership. We do things together.
And obviously, we're in an old repurposed blue shipping container, and as I think most of you know, Rotterdam has been one of the biggest port cities in the world for a long time now. So this is always also like a little bit of a homage or a part of Rotterdam's identity. You know, this blue shipping container that we managed to find and fully transform into the beautiful studio that we now have here.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing, and I feel that. I want to ask what is a challenge that the radio had in the past? So a challenge that you solved.
Good question.
What's the challenge? Maybe the challenge is when we started, we had the idea to program like the whole week through. We were like, okay, we're gonna program like we start, and but that was maybe a challenge to fill the program in the beginning, and of course like the technical stuff and how we maintain the studio. Why we started without interns, we did shifts ourselves. I think the most challenging thing is to manage our own time and the radio's time together.
Yeah, and I think also like one thing just like that's a big like challenge on a day-to-day basis is how you sort of create a good program that flows nicely into each other, and as we said, you know, represents all these different sounds that we feel need more representation, but also, you know, make it listenable. You know, people don't maybe want to listen to a techno set at 10 a.m. in the morning. We want to create like a flawless or like as good of a radio experience as possible every day, you know, where you just, you know, you're working at the office on a Monday and you tune in and you're listening to nice sort of calming and easy listening vibes where you can concentrate with and do some work with, and then, you know, maybe end of the afternoon you finish work, you get home, there's some more uplifting like maybe more danceable tunes, and then in the evening, you know, maybe it's a Friday evening or something, and you're chilling at home with some friends and you're maybe getting ready to go out somewhere, and then there's some cool clubby stuff to kind of get you in the mood for going out. So this is, yeah, we also like this creating this cool listening experience that you can just tune in throughout the day and have something you want to listen to. I think that's the biggest puzzle that we still work on every day.
Okay, so it's an ongoing challenge as well.
Yeah, for sure. Never, I mean, at some point maybe we'll get there, but yeah, it's that. I think if I look at you are the head of program, but I think that's definitely something that's always on your mind.
It's always gonna be a challenge, always.
Yeah. Okay, that was it. We're gonna go to the closing up for this interview, because we're already going through the half an hour.
The big $1 million question. Let's go.
No, for the closing up, there are easy question. I would like to ask you, what's next for your station, or any exciting project or plans that are coming up that you would like to share with?
The most recent one is we're gonna have an Art Rotterdam after party this weekend. Tomorrow at Brutus, which is gonna be very nice. So if you're in town, please come by. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna be there. And for the coming future, we really have the need and the plan to maybe have our own physical space with a bigger space where people can come together. Maybe also with a room where we can have our own nights and combine with radio. So that's a future plan we really want to have. That will be really nice. Maybe you have some things?
Oh yeah, I think the biggest dream is always to have like a physical space with our own terrace or our own, or yeah, the place where our obviously we have a big community who listen to Operator a lot and they tune in, but we also at some point we would love to have a spot where those people can actually come, meet each other, listen to the shows, but like being there live.
And space.
Yeah, at some point we're gonna work on also getting a well-functioning application again. We used to have one back in our during the days of our old website, and we got a new website which we're really happy with, but it's not compatible with that app anymore. So we're gonna need a new app at some point, which we'll definitely work on. And then yeah, for the coming year, you'll find us anywhere and everywhere. Just follow us on Instagram, tune into the radio, and we'll be at loads of events, either partnerships and radio streams on location, but also club nights, festival appearances abroad, but also over here. Yeah, we'll be anywhere and everywhere, as you are known from us.
Yeah, this leads me to the last question, and indeed it's how people can tune in and how people can support this radio.
They can tune in always, 24/7 there's music, but we do 6 days of live programming. The other moments it's all like playing from our archive, all curated stuff. But you can always tune in via operator-radio.com. Follow us on Instagram, operator.radio. And I think the nicest way to support us is to just keep listening. We drop merch regularly, buy the merch, and obviously show up at our events and come hang out. It's a perfect moment to meet new like-minded people, music lovers, anything alike. So yeah, I think that's the best way to support us.
Yeah, physical presence is always one of the best way to...
Yeah, we want to foster this offline community as well, and Operator has always been a place where like-minded people can meet. Whether that be in the chat box, through the radio, in our little space here, where DJs and friends of DJs come and hang out. Obviously, it's not like an open to everyone space, but this is definitely a place where a lot of connection happens already. But during our events, there's way more possibilities for that. So and yeah, fingers crossed in the future we'll also have a space where that can happen between everyone.
Well, thank you so much, Pim. Thank you so much, Osman.
It was a pleasure, man. Nice to meet you. Good that you're here.
Thanks. Okay, we're gonna close the interview here. Hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna play for another half an hour some disco and house tune. So stay connected and see you to the next one.
Good luck, broski.
journey into the night, we take flight on a pursuit of musical bliss. Chasing beats through ghetto streets to a dungeonous temple left by our soul descendants in a quest for peace, energy, and light. If you would find this temple, do you have the knowledge to enter the temple? Do you want it? And if you had it, would you flaunt it? Well, it's yours.
The flows ignite and flow and soar into your world. Let the fire burn within you, hold it, now it's yours. If you feel it in your soul, follow the light of peace.
Acquiring entrance to the temple is hard but fair. Trek through God-forsaken elements because the reward is well worth the journey. Stay steadfast in your pursuit of the light. The light is knowledge. Do you want it? And if you had it, would you flaunt it? It's yours.
The flows ignite and flow and soar into your world. Let the fire burn within you, hold it, now it's yours. If you feel it in your soul, follow the light of peace.
Stay true to your quest. So let the beauty that is the musical universe engulf you. Recharge your spirit, purify your mind, touch your soul, and give you the eternal joy and happiness you truly deserve. You now have the knowledge. Do you want it? And if you had it, would you flaunt it? Well, it's yours.
The flows ignite and flow and soar into your world. Let the fire burn within you, hold it, now it's yours. If you feel it in your soul, follow the light of peace.
Well, it's yours. And if you had it, would you flaunt it? Well, it's yours.
The flows ignite and flow and soar into your world. Let the fire burn within you, hold it, now it's yours. If you feel it in your soul, follow the light of peace. The flows ignite and flow and soar into your world. Let the fire burn within you, hold it, now it's yours. If you feel it in your soul, follow the light of peace.
I'm gonna close this set with Life Force, an amazing song from Nicola Conte. Nicola Conte is an Italian composer of jazz. Hope you liked this track from 2023. Joe Clausel from New York also did a lot of remixes over it. The album is called Umoja.
Well, it's yours.
This nice jazz, I leave you. I go here from Utrecht with Noordlicht Waves project. The next one is in open source. April 18, so catch you there.